They've been arguing like crazy.
Oh, wait now.
Tell you for
Wait now.
that's what it means.
Right?
You don't agree.
But so I personally know feelings, attraction, interest is a thing that men in this time and age you have to pay more attention to. We don't get to say. We can try to say it. It's just not working out. That's what we see.
How's that
right?
working for you?
like no. It's supposed to be duty, and they're not committed. Women have been trained that they're not supposed to be held accountable and all this kind of thing, or hold themselves accountable. All this different type of rhetorics, right? I think people, like for example, one of the conversations that you hear a lot is that why would a woman withhold sex? A woman will withhold sex because of one reason: she doesn't want to have sex with you.
Chicken.
Now we can ask another question: why is it that she doesn't want to have sex with you? But if you're in denial that no, she wants to have sex, she's just withholding it, then we get stuck in a limbo.
Exactly.
All right. So attraction, interest, and values explained. Let me read this quote really quickly. Losing feelings for your partner can be an incredibly difficult thing to deal with. Whether it's losing feelings of attraction, losing feelings of emotional connection, or losing feelings of companionship. It's normal to experience some conflicting emotions when losing feelings for someone you used to care about deeply. But it's important not to dwell on these negative feelings. So that's a usual confusion there, because people feel like, a lot of men feel like losing feelings. This is not supposed to be happy all the time. This was duty. This was duty.
You're dealing with women, and when you're dealing with women, a lot of feelings are involved.
So they said women have been trained. Women have been trained subconsciously that they don't have to be responsible. That they are queens regardless, and more.
I bet where have they been trained this? Because
wait. That's okay. So we know that in America, women are incentivized, like basically by default, like things like custody and stuff like that goes to them.
Right.
If there's a divorce or anything like that.
Right.
There's a lot of default, and if a man is gonna, one of the first questions pushed back is like, but did he fight? Like, dude, fighting costs money. Like, if you're going to fight, it's not, the point is that it's not default. He could fight if he wants to, but it costs a lot of money. We're talking about hundreds of dollars per hour in consulting with an attorney and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's not cheap, right? So it's a thing, it's a known thing that I don't like say, it doesn't feel right saying it, that women are incentivized to divide up the family.
It makes no sense.
Right. Absolutely. But here's why there may be a point to it, right? If it's not as incentivized, maybe you will fight more when there's issues with the marriage, just like there's going to be issues with every marriage.
Who's saying that they're not fighting enough? I disagree with that. A lot of women fight for it. A lot of women actually stay in unhappy, unhealthy marriages because they don't want to be seen as this person that does not fight. I don't agree with that statement. People just going around, especially people that are not married. So do you agree with
the result? The results we have is that in most developed society, 50% of marriages are ending up in divorce. That's a known fact, right? We also know that 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. I also know that men don't pay attention to a marriage that's actually ended way before. It's just that the marriage didn't start ending at the point of divorce. Okay. There's a lot that men don't pay attention to.
They were blindsided, in their words.
But instead of a man being caught off guard, completely blindsided by a divorce, right? Maybe a lot more stunts will be pulled to get his attention. I'm asking, right? To get his attention, instead of saying, I'm just gonna go pull the trigger and call the divorce. Granted that a man is complacent, he's not paying attention. That's why it seems that's part of the reasons why most 80% are initiated by Now, the other side is 90% of those divorces are initiated when it comes to college educated women too, right? The more educated they are, the higher the chances they will initiate divorce. So there's a lot of correlations there that doesn't necessarily prove the point that they didn't fight enough. I agree with you on that.
Because there's limits.
But it's still a question that needs to be answered.
And this takes me back to the question. Why are women filing for divorce? You can't just sit down there and say, oh, women are the one who ending the marriage, they're destroying the marriage. What is going on in the marriage that is allowing these women to think it's okay to just go and file for divorce? We're not addressing that at all. Okay. Men just want to put that on women.
So that's why this topic, attraction, interest, and values, because we're talking about feelings, right?
Right.
The irreconcilable differences is basically saying we don't know why we're not committed to what we're committed to. Let's call it a quit. That's what that means.
They've been arguing like crazy.
No, wait now.
Tell you that's what it means.
Right?
You don't agree.
But so I personally know feelings, attraction, interest is a thing that men in this time and age we have to pay more attention to. We don't get to say. We can try to say it. It's just not working out. That's what we see.
How's that working for you?
Like no. It's supposed to be duty, and you're not committed. Women have been trained that they're not supposed to be held accountable and all this kind of thing, or hold themselves accountable. All this different type of rhetorics, right? I think people, like for example, one of the conversations that you hear a lot is that why would a woman withhold sex? A woman will withhold sex because of one reason: she doesn't want to have sex with you.
She can.
Now we can ask another question: why is it that she doesn't want to have sex with you? But if you're in denial that no, she wants to have sex, she's just withholding it, then we get stuck in a limbo.
Exactly. Right. Isn't there a reason? How did you get to where you are right now?
Right. So
come on.
So I think values, right? When we align in values, we believe in the same things, right? Meaning culture, religion, how we see things in life. That's why I think people being best friends, yes, feelings. Okay, because when you call somebody best friend, there's feelings there, right?
Of course.
You're saying no, we talk, we have conversation, as opposed to no, sit down there. You're supposed to sit down there for the
everybody's in their corner
for the next 40 years of your life, period, right? Because it's duty, as opposed to no, we love being around each other, right? We have a good time having these conversations and chatting, right? About this kind of things, right? So when your values align, talking about religion, it helps a lot, right?
Yeah, it does.
But it's not enough. In this time and age,
you still go through it.
Back in the days, you marry somebody who was a Christian, it's duty. Everybody stayed married, right? If there's problem, your mother will tell you to go back, and deal with it. Just have patience, right? But we're realizing that the education across borders that you don't have to do that anymore.
No, because some people feel like they're in prison.
So, I don't know. I think there's a hyper. I'm just not happy anymore. So I asked the gentleman.
Hyper. What do you mean hyper? So are you saying that that's just something she says when she feels like it? I'm just not happy anymore.
Me and you.
If someone said they're not happy anymore, that's real.
Never mind the ladies. Never mind the ladies for a second. Okay? Never mind the ladies for a second.
Right.
Me and you. Just random, regular, good old people, right? That's the thing. We do that. Like, I don't feel like drinking that thing anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that anymore. When it comes to marriage, right? You have to agree that it's a terrible thing that we've come to a place where we could just randomly say, I'm not happy.
I agree.
Just because I'm not happy. If you're not happy, there's a reason. Sort out the reason.
Yes.
As opposed to run for the exit.
As the spouse, I would want to know. If my spouse just showed up and said, I'm not happy anymore. I'm like, are you okay? Why are you not happy anymore? I would want to know why. But what most people do is just assume that, oh, so it's not me. It's me that is not making you happy. Hey, get out of here. And it goes out of, nobody is empathizing with their spouse. What's going on with you? I know it feels like an attack, but in that moment, it doesn't sound right.
But maybe I think we're a little disconnected from some reality. I agree 100% with you. This topic is about attraction, interest, and values. If she's attracted to you, she's not withholding sex. That's bottom line.
Right.
When it comes to that, the question is that why is she not attracted to you? Or part of it could be because you're discounting attraction. It shouldn't be about you being happy. You should just be in this marriage because that's part of the problems right there. But I think we may be disconnected from reality that the rhetoric of divorce is okay. You know, we already did another video on the church demonizing divorce is causing more problems.
Oh, it's making it worse.
Right. But we're talking about the middle ground here. Also, advocating unknowingly by talking so much about divorce can make certain type of people go into marriage with, after all, I can live whenever I want to.
Right.
That attitude.
Well, that's
right there.
sad. I mean, that's sad. You should never go to a marriage with your guards up, because if you say you can leave anytime you want, that means your guards is already up. That means you're not even giving that person grace. Yeah. You're not being fair. That marriage has no chance.
Already.
It's gonna fail.
Already. And that's the point I'm making, that if you already have, like, marriage is not a joke. The point is, approach it to take it seriously, and with the mindset that you can make it. The other side of it is that we can easily scare you right now and say you don't want marriage anymore. That doesn't help the community at large either, because children that are raised within a household tends to come out better because they have structure, they're well behaved, just because of the sense of structure. It's a real thing. Order, right? That everyone kind of need, because everyone is having a false sense of freedom.
Right.
You know. Anyway, we'll continue this conversation later.
It never ends.